So we're opening the North Sherborn Water Sewer District Interim Commission meeting March 16, 2026. And so we'll do a roll call vote. Andrea here, Josh,
Josh here.
Steve,
Steve here.
Marion. She's
Uh,
muted.
Marion, you're muted.
Okay.
There we
And
go. There she is.
Sorry.
agenda, Josh is rocking the minutes so we can do the March 11th minutes. It's awesome. We actually should put those on the website, the ones that are done on the web. Not we don't put it on it. Actually, I don't even know the procedure, but you send someone and they put it on the website next to the agenda
Okay.
for the evening.
So we put the minutes that are going to be approved on the website next to the.
Nope, the ones that we voted to approve.
Okay.
So
All
the
right.
the prior ones.
So we have to find out who
Does that?
administrates who's the webmaster.
I think it's a combination of the town clerk and Jeannie Guthrie.
All right.
I usually just send mine to Jeannie, and then she makes sure that whoever is supposed to have them gets them. So
Okay. All right. I'll look back to. I don't know if has she posted any yet, or are we starting from scratch?
Well, when Meredith was doing them, she did post some, so there are a bunch that are posted already.
Okay. All right. I'll look on I'll check the website.
Right. I'll continue with the agenda. So the minutes we can get through, and then we'll discuss the bylaws, the water sewer regulations, and hopefully also I had drought management, water conservation documents. And then we can talk about an water system operator, although I think we talked last time that we may not need to be in a huge hurry for that. Updates on the IMA with Framingham and general startup issues. And that is it. Would anyone like to make a motion relative to the agenda, or does anyone have anything to add that we didn't anticipate?
can I just suggest that we move the minutes to the end of the meeting, just so Liz and company don't have to
be tortured. Minimal torture. That's what we're. Okay, that sounds great.
Do they need that much work?
Yeah, I think it'll
No.
Yeah,
They shouldn't, but just in case.
We're fairly caught up anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, no problem.
And I'd like to add something to the agenda, if I may. I'm not sure we have to have an agenda item for this, but I'd like to return to my suggestion last time that maybe we could work with Liz and Will and others, and have some input might be helpful in the MIPA, and also we need to see it because we're signing it. And I sent around a list of stuff that, just for a start, that we might want to pay attention to. But
Right.
I just want to mention that we don't have to take it up, but I'd like to just decide, how we go forward from here on that.
Okay, should we start with that? Well, I guess we're not going to go through it at the moment. We should probably just focus on the bylaws and the regs and all that, and then does that sound okay, Marion?
Yeah, it does. Last time we were going to go look back through the clean version of the bylaws and maybe consider elements in the Wiedemeyer, the abutting resident issues with the bylaws, and just decide how to deal with those, and then put that to bed if we can this time.
Let's do that because we have Jeremy and Liz and Will, and so maybe we should do that first. should we put that up in can someone put that up on the?
I can put it up. The thing is that the residents that put this in used a previous version of the bylaws,
Yeah.
not the most up-to-date one that that we approved last time. So I sort of would, if we can, I'd like to put the most up-to-date version up and then just point out places and describe what it is that they're asking that we change. I think that would be the most efficient way rather than wade through their language.
We need to approve the agenda first.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, shoot.
Okay,
Thanks.
just so I don't get too far ahead.
Somebody's got to keep this going forward. All right. Does
I'll
anyone
make
want to? All right. So
I'll make a motion that we accept the agenda as written,
Second.
as
all right, and a vote. Josh,
aye.
Steve,
Aye.
Marion,
Aye.
Andrea, aye. Okay. Um. Okay. So, all right. So, I wish we could do like a split screen thing, but Um, so Marion, you want to pull up the most recently worked on document and
Yeah, and I can just point out what they want to add,
yeah.
and then we can deal with their language. Okay, hold on just a sec. Making sure. Okay.
I
Sorry,
actually,
back to the
I,
Zoom screen.
I actually just split my screen, so I've got the Zoom on one side, and I pulled the document from the residents up on the other side. If you want to do that,
We could do if you like. I've sort of highlighted the residence document.
okay,
Um, whichever way you think is easier, it's okay with me.
yeah,
I do you see the original cleaned doc up there now?
Yes. Yep.
yeah,
Okay. I think we can take care of some of this and maybe pull up the residence document where we need it.
okay.
Um, yeah, the first comment they had is in Article 2.
I think she had something in 1.4.3.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And it in 1.4.3, it's a matter of hold on a second. It's a matter of adding a phrase here and there in several places regarding
Did she create a new section called compliance or did you do that before?
compliance.
Did she create 1.4.3? Do we have that on this
We
version?
have that.
Okay.
And I don't see anything that she's done there that's different.
Okay. I have I thought on my printed copy that everything she wrote was in green, but that may not be the case.
No, that part of it is in green also. The whole operating authority and compliance, it's the sewer system.
Yep.
Um,
So
for
that's
some
okay.
reason that was highlighted in green, but it's not because
Okay.
it's not her input.
Okay, we added, so somebody added the water superintendent and the sewer superintendent shall serve blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
that we dealt with last time.
Yep. So you're right. The next thing that I have that's it would be 2.2.1.
That's right. And here she added 2.2.1 connections and disconnections. At the end of a lot of these phrases, she added not to be unreasonably withheld, conditioned, or delayed. Um, Permits, approvals, etc. And that is inserted in a number of different places. And maybe, yeah, Jeremy can comment.
And it kind of seems unnecessary, in my opinion. It's really up to the commission based on your standards. And I don't think you would intentionally delay a connection. Um, the language she's proposing just seems unnecessary.
That was my take as well, Jeremy. Yeah, so I sort of crossed that out all the way through. The next kind of substantial revisions that they have was in section 7.3, which is betterments. Under applicability 7.3.1, citizen petition projects. Basically, she suggested that we put in more detail on affirmative action of 4 of the 5 district commissioners, of a meeting duly called, having been first read at a public commission, blah, blah, blah. Then notified by email or mail to all residents of the district within a 30-day comment period. A lot of detail about uh, the information about a proposed betterment and information about a citizen petitioned betterment, how that should be publicized to the residents and the timetable for approval. And you could add some of that. It doesn't hurt, but I'm not sure we need it. Their point is that, and I think they have a point here, that the effect of of having a betterment is that it's going to cost a lot of the other residents, and some of them may not want it, etc. They just don't want it to appear unexpectedly.
Marion, can you scroll down to the betterment section, just
Oh, yeah, sorry.
so we can see what the current language is?
Absolutely sorry. I meant to do that. It's right here under citizen petition projects. And actually,
Can you pull up her?
yes, I'm going to do that right now. Sorry.
When you share screen, instead of sharing just a window, can you just share your entire computer screen so you can put them
Yes,
both up side by side?
that's what I really should do.
Yeah.
So,
You might have to unshare and then reshare.
yeah, sorry. I'll do that. Share content only side by side. Let's see, it's giving me the document to share. Oh, there you go. Do you see now?
I only see one.
Okay, yeah, but I don't have the other one open yet.
Oh,
Now I can open the other one. And scroll down to 7 point
we
whatever.
still only see the first one though.
Oh, darn.
Did you share your full computer screen?
I think so. I tried to. I definitely need to share my whole screen. Let me try it again. Sorry. When I ask to share my screen, the only option I get is various options on my screen, but not the whole screen. And I'm not sure how to.
Oh, it says hold shift to select multiple windows.
Okay, I can select 2 windows.
Yeah. So
Okay, thanks. Thanks for reading the instructions for me. I'm
they
not
You did
Zoom
better than I would.
Zoom has they've changed how stuff works multiple times and like significantly changing like where buttons are or how you do things. So
I
it's very
know.
confusing.
Drives me crazy. Can you see two different documents
Yeah.
now?
Yes, now we can see two.
Oh, oh, thank God. Okay. All right. Let me just get rid of all these other little screens it's trying to show me. Oops, sorry. Damn it. Okay. Now we've got two screens. And let me get down to the betterments. Got to make this smaller.
Uh, okay.
There we go. Move it over. Voila. Now move this one over.
If you hit control, is it control window? You should, is it shift?
Marion is on a Mac though. The
Oh,
command might be
I
different.
don't know anything
Yeah.
about that. Sorry.
Control window, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that can split your screen for you and just like anchor one to the other, one
I
to one
know.
side.
Okay, now
If you
on the
go
right,
up to the green button, you should be able to split it.
I can see
I
it
think
both
this is okay
sides.
though, because we can see
We're
both
good.
sides right now.
Okay, good.
So
Perfect.
I'm afraid to muck with it right now. Okay, here we are. Do you see 7.3.1 applicability on both sides?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. You see our section, citizen petition projects, is quite small. They took off the entire cost shall be subject to betterment assessments on benefiting properties.
I don't think that was part of theirs.
yeah, we added that at our last meeting.
That's right, exactly. So you can see they added a lot of detail on how the betterment vote basically is going to occur. The betterment shall require the affirmative vote of four of the five district commissioners. Blah, blah. Well, you can read it.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately I mean, it isn't exactly a public hearing, but basically they're asking for a public hearing anytime there's a citizen petitioned betterment.
Hmm.
Um, which I think based on our based on the special legislation is not necessary. I guess the question becomes, I mean, is it necessary for the entire district to be notified if most of them it doesn't affect them? The question is, do they realize that a citizen petition project, the cost of the betterment is not being spread out across the entire district. It's only being paid for by the people who benefit from the betterment.
Yeah,
And in order for that to occur, you have to have a vote of all of the people who are affected. And so it's not like somebody is going to be blindsided, not realizing that all the residents of Meadowbrook voted to have a water main built down Meadowbrook.
yeah, that's exactly right. I
You
agree
know,
with you.
Because
so
they can't have a vote to find out whether they're going to go for it without notifying
right,
the residents that are going to vote on it in the first
right.
place.
And they don't need to have a discussion about it in a public meeting with the commission. They just need to discuss it among themselves. Eventually, obviously, if they vote, let's say that there's 10 residents there, and if six of them decide, yes, we want it, then they're going to have to bring that to the commission, and then the commission will discuss it in an agenda item. It shouldn't really be a surprise. I think theoretically, yeah, we probably would and should notify the members of that neighborhood when the item is being discussed. Um, but I mean, I don't know that it's necessary to write all of this detail. I don't know that it's necessary to have a 30-day comment period and then to, have this entire timeline of how this is going to work. Again, because it's like the residents in the neighborhood should have figured that out themselves privately and it
Sorry.
would only come to us if they decided that they wanted to have a betterment. So,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it seems like a lot of red tape that is unnecessary to me.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I'm glad Jeremy's here. There are certain rules about betterments that are in general practice, I think. Uh, are there laws about betterments in a district, Jeremy, that would
Yeah,
apply?
there are, this is all governed by Mass General Law.
Right,
There's requirements for betterment. So you have to follow those at a minimum. You could adopt, more stringent or more, strict rules. So there's nothing preventing you from adopting these rules, but it's all enabled by general law.
right. So, yeah,
I mean, one thing that's interesting, I'm not sure why the comments seem to be singling out just the citizens petition projects, but a district initiated project wouldn't require notice to anyone.
yeah,
Um,
that doesn't make sense, does it? Because
yeah,
it's still a betterment and not for the whole district.
right.
Yeah.
But
But in any case, it sounds as if we don't need all this language.
mhm.
It kind of does.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing is a little more, yeah, this is a little more controversial. And actually, we dealt with this at town meeting, you may recall. Um, that is the what happens if one of the wells of the neighborhood become contaminated and the resident thinks that it's due to the development. And so what they're asking here is that if their well becomes contaminated and they think it's due to the development, then they have right to emergency access to water and or sewer on an emergency basis and not at their expense. And they suggest that the owners of Meadowbrook Commons and Coolidge Crossing um, create a reserve account to cover this eventuality. And we heard that at town meeting, of course, and the legislation was passed without it. However, uh, one of the hookers in this, so I really don't think it's appropriate. But in any case, one of the hookers is that uh, the the onus of proving that it wasn't because of the development is on the owners of the development. That is, they don't have to, they don't, they don't have to prove that it was because of the development. They just have to prove that it wasn't from other causes. So, who gets the data, who provides the proof, who pays for the whole thing? This is all things that were hashed out at town meeting. So I'm not sure what your take on this is, but I think I don't want to bring up this ghost again.
Can you remind me, Marion, what was the context when it was brought up at a previous town meeting? Like what was the bylaw that was being discussed?
It was the legislation, the Massachusetts
Oh, I see.
Water and Sewer District legislation.
Okay.
And they thought and also there had been, it was in the minds of most of the audience tied to these developments.
Yeah.
So there was concern that blasting of the rock or any sort of disturbance of the land next door could lead to contamination of their wells. And if so, they wanted a reserve account. You may recall they suggested $1 million per house, but anyway, they wanted a reserve account uh, to cover any possible future contamination
Yeah.
they believe could have been due to the new developments.
Do you remember the sort of logic or justification by which that was argued down?
Let me see if I can reconstruct that. Um,
I just want to make sure that, if the Meadowbrook residents, want to ask us why we are rejecting this clause, that we um, are using the same logic as was used at town meeting.
yeah,
My
exactly.
my assumption is that, reasonably speaking, development next to an abutter, regardless of whether it is, a subdivision or if it's a single family home, that there's no responsibility on the part of the developer to prove that they didn't contaminate somebody's well, that it's on the person who is affected to prove that it was, and usually that requires pretty tight monitoring of water conditions immediately prior and immediately following an event that can be documented to have released, let's say, manganese, for example, and then to prove that that was it. So essentially, it's like building requirements in for a multi-unit development. Doesn't really seem to make much sense if it doesn't apply to a single family development. That's just my thought process right now, but I don't know if that was an accurate summary of how the discussion went at town meeting.
Yeah, it was, I believe. Jeremy might recall as well. Um, in this case, they're putting the onus on the developers to prove a negative, um, without their having to prove a positive.
Yeah,
And, proving a negative is a hard thing to do.
yeah,
And
There's always doubt involved.
and
So,
cause cause causality or sources of contamination, especially the ones that might show up. Um, uh, it's just notoriously difficult to do and could go on for years.
yeah. And furthermore, I feel like it was also a scenario where that would be an issue between two private entities, right? And that's not something that the town, or in this case, the district, would want to get into the middle of, right? So again, if you have two people, one has an empty lot and they're building a single family home, something happens, and then the neighbor says that, oh, that's because you were building your home. That's a legal issue between those two entities, and the town really has no standing to come into the middle of it
Yeah,
and prejudge the outcome,
because
So,
we're not blasting foundations and we're not doing any construction work,
yeah,
that's right.
right?
yeah.
That's right. It's not a water district commission's business, actually. But I'd like
Um,
to hear from Jeremy on this one. Jeremy is
Sure.
probably,
It- yeah, I mean, from my experience in other communities and other water systems, this is an anomaly. This request, this is putting a lot of um, liability on yourself. It seems sort of contradicting what your interest may be. You may choose to do something in the future that extends a water main or whatnot and assess a betterment, but this seems to the way it's worded anyway, and actually the whole intent here seems to sort of unreasonably um, put requirements on the commission, assuming that there's going to be some bad thing that happens. Um,
right. And water and sewer access shall proceed immediately on an emergency basis,
yeah.
and all associated costs shall be at the expense of the ownership entities. Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
I'd be very wary of any language that says shall, the district shall.
yeah.
That's a requirement. That's a pretty strong statement. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, you also have the conundrum too that you're not doing anything immediately if you're providing solely sewer service, right? Because that triggers another ITA. if they're still pulling from their well. So that's a very, as you all know, lengthy permitting process as well. So
Right,
this does put a weird liability. It has like a presumption of liability for Toll and Kennedy Wilson, and then it has the onus of proof on you guys as the commission. And I think your instinct is right to stay out of that if you can.
right.
And if you were going to put this language on for Meadowbrook, wouldn't you put it on for every house in the
Yes,
district? Because
exactly.
a developer could buy the house next door, tear it down, blast the foundation. So does every single house in the district have to put up enough money in case construction is done on their property that could cause, or are we just directing it at Meadowbrook Commons?
That's right. It's a broader town bylaw issue and Board of
Hmm.
Health issue. The Board of Health has regulations on blasting that are designed to try to avoid this whole kind of scenario. But that's not the business of the commission, really.
But also, I would just want to point out that as far as I understand, the regulation that they have on blasting is just a notification of the abutters that blasting is going to happen and that there is no presumption of liability or power on the part of the Board of Health to regulate the blasting activity or anything that happens afterwards. That was all in response to what happened on, I forget the name of the road.
Wildwood, yeah.
Yeah, and to some degree, I think that the Board of Health kind of they kind of shot themselves in the foot because they created that regulation just to increase the communication just so that people would know what was happening. And then afterwards, people started complaining that the Board of Health wasn't doing anything about it when it was like the Board of Health has no standing to regulate this activity. And same thing here, the Water District Commission certainly has no standing to be regulating this type of activity, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think that to the degree that Toll and Kennedy Wilson may be blasting ledge in the region, they would probably still have to abide by the Board of Health's kind of notification regulation. Just notify the abutters that, okay, some blasting is going to be happen. You do what you want with that information. I think that, the prudent thing for them to do is to basically all of the abutters should get their wells tested on their own expense right before the blasting happens, and then get their wells tested again afterwards, and then make sure that their manganese levels or whatever didn't just spike up. And if it does, again, that's not something that has anything to do with the town or with the district. That would be
right.
something that they would need to work out directly with Toll and Kennedy Wilson, depending on which entity's development was blasting at the time.
Right.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. Okay. So there's that. And then there's one other small change under,
991.
yeah, an adoption. Um, it basically spells out a sort of procedure. Adoption should have similar procedures to amendments in 9.2 and rate adjustments in 7.1. That's reasonable. I guess we could put that in there. Um, I'm not sure we want to say with the commission to incorporate reasonable comments or respond within 10 days. Uh,
And it's a little atypical to require you to mail or email
yeah.
regulations to a resident. I mean, no other board or commission in town does that. Usually they're just posted on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, personally, not that I feel especially strong about it. I also feel like the 30-day comment period and the response time and all of that, it's again, the special legislation itself was adopted without these things. So I I don't see why we should add more restrictions than were in the special legislation to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could insert some general language about notifying the residents of the district without putting in comment periods and response periods. Um, the
So
rest,
even so
the
that
rest
would
of it is
that would
pretty much
mean
boilerplate.
even the slightest change we made to any part of it, wording, just even the slightest change we would have to go through all that just to make a slight change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's part of the from our last meeting, I think part of our decision making involved we're just going to adopt things in a basically good enough for now state because as we get closer and closer to the finish line, we may be altering things on the fly, and having the ability to do that meeting to meeting is, I think, a lot better than having to go through a fairly cumbersome process of notifying and waiting for a comment period and then responding when in reality we might be having meetings every, week or couple of weeks and potentially changing things as something changes about the situation. So again, I think on the assumption that the legislation was established the way that it was established, and I think everybody had enough time to, especially, the people that were in the district certainly had enough time to look over the legislation and had their say at town meeting, and then it was passed in the way that it was written. I think that we should basically keep it the way that it was written, since that's what was passed at town meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't recall that the legislation talked about bylaws. Maybe it did, I forget. But there's a certain, citizen responsibility here too. That is, all the residents of the district will be informed of the Water District Commission's website and can be informed of all meetings. They're all going to be public. This sounds like a little bit of hand-holding.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
the
Go ahead.
commission, the district is responsible for annual reports to its users where you're reporting water quality, general business of the infrastructure where you've had capital improvements or may. So, I mean, it's an easy place to stick a QR code to say these are our regulations and bylaws or other reports. You will be commuting with your users on that level, but I don't think you want to, commit to having to do it every single time. So there's opportunity, I'd say.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I've lived in many, many different places in my life, and like the house I grew up in and the house I live in now are the only ones that were entirely on well and septic. I've always been in some version of a water and or sewer district, and I don't recall ever getting notified that a district was about to do anything, really. It's just not done, you know?
Right.
Right. And we do have
Yeah.
we will have, our meetings will be posted on the town website as well as our own website. So it's not like we're secretive in any way.
Yeah. And especially it's like until and unless a resident in the district actually gets connected to water and then starts actually having business with the district, I'm like, I'm not sure why they should be so interested in the goings on of the district commission. And I just like you said, there's some amount of sort of public duty to just keep yourself informed. I mean, that's how I ended up here in this seat right now. It's just like it's
Yeah.
not because the town told me that stuff was going on. It was because, my neighbors were like, "Hey, some stuff is going on. You should look into it." And, then we started looking into stuff that's going on in town. And then it's like, "Oh, geez, I think I need to volunteer for some stuff and get involved." And
Mhm.
if you're in a district and there's stuff that's going on that has to do that you should be interested in, it's really the onus is on the resident to stay informed. Again, like you said, there's transparency, there's open meeting laws. Everything's going to be posted and open, so nothing secretive is happening other than you have to kind of pay a little bit of attention. It's like easy enough to, I mean, you can just get it set up as a on your own iPhone calendar, like the town meeting schedule. You can just see all the meetings that are upcoming, so it's really not that hard.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I think that's the last comment that we needed to discuss, and that's the end. So
So that includes language in 9.1 and 9.2, right?
let's see, 9.2.
9.2 has similar language.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the same kind of issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just the general nature is that the onus is not usually on the board or committee or commission to notify everybody in the public that some stuff is going on.
Right, right.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody. That was relatively so I think we need to respond to this and maybe I'd be willing to give it a go and send a draft response letter uh, to the board and to the commission and go over it with Jeremy to make sure that it's reasonable. Is that okay?
Yeah. I would just run it by Andrea as the chair as well. I don't think that you need to bring it to the full commission as long as I think you can capture the discussion that we've had here probably. So,
Okay. Is that agreeable to everybody?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
great.
Motion.
Okay, let me stop sharing my screen.
Or maybe not. Maybe we don't need to because this is just responding to comments.
we can do a motion just to I
Right.
move to authorize Marion Neutra to compose a response letter as discussed in this meeting to be approved by Jeremy and Andrea prior to sending out um, to the responsible people.
I second that.
Roll call. Josh,
Josh, I.
Steve,
Steve, I.
Marion,
Nay. Well, yeah, I mean, I just realized now I have to write the letter.
Andrea, I think Marion should write the letter.
Okay.
Okay. So I think we're in pretty good shape with the draft bylaws. And then Matt had some comments on the water regulations. Should we tackle those next, people?
Yep. So in a earlier question, I did I went through Matt's notes that he sent, incorporated them in the regs, but did not have a chance to talk to him directly about it. I was supposed to talk to him over the weekend and I got tied up moving in-laws. So I didn't talk to him about it. I put them in so we can go through it, discuss his comments on it, and incorporate what we can, or just review it and if there's more to discuss, we could discuss with him on the next round.
Yeah, let's just have a look and if it's all kind of minor stuff, we maybe can actually just vote to approve the document. I guess that's the other question would be the bylaws are do we have no more changes then for the bylaws? Because could we actually just vote to adopt those at this meeting?
I was going to ask the same thing. Ask of Liz and Will. You've seen what kind of shape they're in. And
Yeah, so what I think would be maybe helpful is if I do want to send all your regulations, I think, as draft to WRC, just in case they have comments.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if that means we vote for a close on discussion or if we vote that that I am able to share them. Uh,
Well, I move that we approve that we enable Liz to send the latest updated draft bylaws, just for the bylaws for now, to MIPA for their review.
I'll second that.
and the Water Resource Commission.
And the Water Resource Commission.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'll second the amended motion.
thank you.
A roll call vote, Josh,
Josh, I.
Steve,
Steve, aye.
Andrea, I, Marion,
Marion, aye.
great.
Great work, guys. It's a big milestone to have those closed,
That is a big milestone.
right? All right, on to the next one.
Good.
We're all
Right.
done, right? Breaking ground tomorrow now?
Yeah.
There you go.
I wish.
Um, Josh, do you want to put the water regs with Matt's comments up on the screen?
If I
Or
can
just
find them and if I can do it.
Yeah, I could if you like.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm
Okay,
to be
sorry,
trusted.
you sent us updated
I
ones.
set whatever the one I sent was.
Was
With the date 3/12.
Yep, I have it. I just don't know how to put it up.
that's okay.
Do you want me to put them up or do you have them, Marion?
That'd be great. Somebody.
Yeah, let's see, I have one up, but it's not dated. Hold on a minute.
So I just put one up here that's dated 3/12. Is this the most recent one, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yep.
312, that is.
Yeah, this is the most recent one I had in my email anyways. Okay, so some minor date changes here.
Yeah. There was a question, Andrea. You had a question on the dates where it says March 26th on those. See on the top of each page. Did you have a question about that?
Um,
On the top of each page, it said March 26th.
I was thinking it was that instead of 2026. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how the other one was formatted, so I did it that way.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
the other one had January 26th or something.
I suppose we could make it 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would just be a little clearer.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That's on all the pages. I don't know if it changes all of them.
Yeah,
Look.
it'll change on all of
Okay,
them.
cool.
All right, we have
Can you enlarge that at all, Steve? And my screen is pretty small. There you go.
widen that. Is that all relatively legible?
Yep.
Okay.
So I think it started with some definitions. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the first thing I had was just this comment from Liz from July of 2025.
Yeah.
So I take it this is just saying that this is a requirement, and so there's no
Sometimes I
change.
like to leave clues so I
Okay.
remember what I did. So that's exactly what it is. It's just
Okay.
saying
Okay.
that these regulations largely follow Framingham because Framingham has that regulation and they're saying we need to follow anyone who connects to their system has to follow their requirements.
Okay. All right. So I can resolve that.
Mhm.
All right. Right.
I think the first changes we would have on Matt's list was in section 2 in the definitions and acronyms.
Okay. All right. So these in red, are these all Matt's changes?
Yeah,
I'm assuming these are all words that are used in the document, and so he pulled pulled them out to be defined.
I do not know that.
Okay.
Let's see.
Some of them may just be industry standards.
So abandonment. Yeah, so abandonment does show up a few times in the document, so
Yeah,
all right.
ANSI.
Maybe when we're done with the text, we can go back to the definitions and
Okay,
read them out.
Okay.
Might be faster that way.
Okay.
so he added some language to as-built.
Hmm.
With the as-built, as an engineer, I don't like the specific measurements from property lines because according to Mass state law, only surveyors can do that. I am
Hmm.
Okay,
not allowed to stamp a document that has dimensioning from property line to anything unless I have a PLS on my team, and I cannot refer to old record drawings to do that service. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a nitpicky thing that was changed in 2016.
Um, okay, so
So it
then
says it's his first change under as-built, specific measurements from property
yeah.
lines. So,
So it seems like that entire sentence then I should remove, right? So this whole
yeah.
specifics.
Yeah,
Can
that
you
that would
get,
require a professional licensed a professional land surveyor to.
what if you just got rid of specific? Or what if you got rid of property lines?
I
Can
would
you take measurements from buildings and
Yes, I can. I can
dwellings
measure
because
from
they're fixed
anything
points?
but property lines. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what if
uh
we just remove property lines? Be good to get measurements. Property lines, almost impossible to see where they are when you're doing some
They
as-built
are
work.
hard to see, aren't they?
Very hard to see.
all right, so if we just delete
But
uh
the rest of the language I like.
Field notes. Liz, how do you feel about field notes? Plans should also include field notes taken during installation.
Um,
I think what he's saying is hit ledge. I mean, do people take field notes? Like what they
I
went through putting it in?
sometimes this is kind of getting into, I mean, they could say the plans may include relevant, or the plans should include relevant field notes, perhaps, rather than we don't need everything.
Okay.
backflow. This is
I
definitely
kind of,
too
yeah,
technical for me.
he, he just gave me a note that said the reversal flow of water caused by back pressure or siphonage. And I took his wording and tried to kind of embed it in that line.
I guess the engineers on the call, does this definition make sense? It's definitely beyond me.
It follows, yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So back pressure is if something pushes, siphonage is if there's a water main break and the water's running out downhill from different hookups, and it's actually starts siphoning the water back through, so the
Mm.
backflow device will stop it. Backflow prevention device will stop that, but backflow is when it'll start pulling it, not just draining, but siphoning it.
Yeah.
Under building here, Liz, this was a note that you left in July. Is this sort of
Yep.
note to
So
yourself, or is this we want
this
to
is
change
just
this?
kind of a, so again, these follow Framingham largely. This is a pretty general definition here, which probably does align. I was just kind of cross-referencing your regulations. So just pointing out that building is defined in the zoning differently. So up to you guys if you wanted to be consistent and use the Sherborn zoning building definition. I didn't see if it was defined anywhere else, but that was more, that was why it was there.
Oh, um, well, I guess if we look at this definition of building, which is in our own zoning bylaw, does anyone see a reason not to just use that definition instead of the existing one?
And that CMR 780, CMR 302 is the building code.
The Sherburne Building Code.
In the first definition, any structure used for human occupancy, employment, recreation, or other uses as classified, classifications as defined by, and you could just say the Massachusetts Building Code instead of that
Massachusetts.
780 if we wanted to put it in
Yeah.
English.
Mm.
So, I mean, I think you guys kind of, you align, I think.
Does anyone on the commission have an opinion? I have no opinion about this.
I,
Does anyone have an opinion about it?
either way is fine with me.
Well, I sort of like Massachusetts Building Code rather than a bunch of numbers.
Okay.
Should we replace the numbers with Massachusetts Building Code or
Sure, because it could be
Yeah.
broader and it could change.
Yeah, the numbers may change.
Fair? Yeah.
okay?
Should we could I go back to something like that backflow language?
Uh-huh.
There's going to be some comments that I don't know if we're going to approve tonight. Should we approve these as we go, or how does that work? Can you approve some of them and not all of them?
I can. I think.
I don't. I'm not really good at
Yeah, I
doing the
mean
review and changes.
if we're good with how this looks, I can accept all these. I can go back to the beginning of the document and accept things as we go. If that
Yeah, because I think there's some comments in the as we go that we're not going to be able to translate.
Yeah, okay. I might as well alter this as well, I guess. Draft. So this is now technically March 16th, right?
Mhm.
Let's- I'm gonna skip the formatting changes for now because that's gonna be tedious. I can do that after the fact.
Okay.
Oops. Jesus. This I think we're probably okay with. These changes are all okay, right? Commission and its
Edit
representative.
those for sure.
Yeah. Liz's comment here. Oh, wait. Should the authority lie with the commission and or the commission's representative?
Where did I, okay.
I mean, I guess the way it's written here, it's either, right? Commission or its
Yeah, I
representative.
think I wrote it that way to unsure of how you were going to operate. Um, and you know,
Hmm.
at this, if you were going to allow connect, like if you were going to authorize whatever entity like Whitewater or SWSS, like to just review and approve minor applications. Um, I think I wasn't sure how you were going to do approvals, but I think from the bylaw talks now, it sounds like you want to understand who's connecting to your system. Maybe the
Yeah.
technical review goes to your representative.
I mean, there's likely to be very few connections that are entertained over time.
Yeah.
So it's not a large system where you might want to sort of delegate that authority to staff engineer or something. So I'd suggest that it be retained by the commission,
So, all right.
the
So,
approval authority.
I
so,
agree.
so here, should I then just say application shall be obtained from the commission? Just eliminate
Yeah.
or its representative.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also this, or to the satisfaction of the commission's representative, delete that as well.
Yep.
I guess we'll resolve this comment. Let's see here. All right, so this, can I hold that? Yes, there we go. Uh, let's assume that we're okay with this definition.
You
Uh,
want you want a PC or a Mac, Steven?
I'm on a Mac.
So you just highlight and that comes up and you can
Yeah, so
accept.
basically, yeah, now I right click and then I can accept the changes.
Okay.
Although this one didn't let me for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Oh, I see. Because I didn't select only the change.
I get it.
That's obnoxious.
Got a you got a little bit there to do. It's only letting you select that whole word, it looks like.
Yeah.
And
I
again,
was hoping that I could, when multiple changes to a single sentence had happened, I was hoping I could just select the entire sentence and accept all of the changes that happened. But
it wouldn't, huh? All right.
well, let's see what happens here. So this backflow definition we're okay with, right? So yeah. Yeah, let me do the whole thing. There we go. Massachusetts building code. We're okay with that. And we'll resolve that comment. All right, consumption and contractor. We okay with these definitions?
Person,
Oh, yeah.
entity, a contractor. Should that be a person entity hired by the commission to, no, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Should it be person or entity or person slash entity?
Hmm, either or.
I don't know. I'm just asking about requesting.
I feel like person or entity is straightforward.
Okay.
All right, so we're okay with consumption and contractor definitions.
I
Yeah.
am. So
Combines.
combined service, that was a comment. I don't know if that's something we put in.
I wonder if he's thinking stormwater and sewer water, because sometimes that's combined is sewer and stormwater.
Yeah.
Because
Well, this is true as well in the water world when we're talking about a combined water pipe, because you have two services. Your domestic feed is typically smaller, and regularly used, and then your fire flow is typically a larger pipe. So, for example, like the bigger buildings in Coolidge Crossing, they will have probably an 8-inch fire feed coming into them, and then I'm not sure, a 4 or 6-inch domestic. So a combined service would be if I had one pipe coming into that building.
Hmm.
Yeah. But you are also correct, Andrea, when we talk about combined sewers, is stormwater and sewer. Yeah. So,
I was just trying to think of how, but I think it's referenced in this document. I think it has to do with the fire and water.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yep.
I think that might just be a comment off the cuff, not recommended like a survey. I know we have a
Yeah.
definition for it, but it's not recommended that it ever be is used. I don't know if he wants to change the language of that. I think he was just stating
Just make
that
a
he
comment.
feels that a
You
combined
shouldn't do
service
it.
should
Yeah.
never be used. Yeah.
But I don't think we
So
should put not recommended in the
Right.
yeah,
definition.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll put
That's
that
what I was
somewhere
getting
else
at.
if we're going doing that.
Right.
Okay. But he wants it to be known that he doesn't like it. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
We're not going to permit it. No.
I'm not
Uh,
sure on the commission definition that we should include or their authorized employee, agent, or representative. Because in the bylaw and in the commission bylaws, uh, the commission has authorities that we probably wouldn't want to give to someone else.
Well, yeah, I think
And
we
it's
need,
really just defining what the commission is. Like when we're saying commission, we're meaning North Sherborn Water Sewer District Commission.
Oh, I see.
yeah.
Right. Wherever
But
it's used in the document.
this is assuming that in the regulations, there's never a situation where the commission is referring to anybody other than this group of five people, right?
That's
Right.
right.
So if there are areas in the regulation where it says the commission will do this or commission will do that, and it actually means that we mean that the operator or the representative or whatever will do it. So as long as we don't have that situation in the rules and regulations, then I think that it makes sense to eliminate this clause here.
Yeah, I think the clause is probably out of place there because you provide that definition so that you can use the word commission
Right.
throughout, and it means the five persons on the water sewer district.
Right.
Okay.
Instead of writing out North Sherborn Water Sewer District Commission every time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then we got uh, demolition. I'm just going to format these, but if anybody has a problem with these definitions, then we can change.
I missed the format when I put them in. I apologize.
That's all right.
All I did was cut and paste. I didn't take enough time on that.
All right. So if we're okay with these definitions, I'll accept them.
Mhm.
Let's see. All right. So there's a question here on discontinuance.
Hmm.
It's not used, so we don't need it.
Hmm. So how did it get in there?
It's in there twice.
All right. And we do have discontinuance in here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep it in there.
But there's already in red just below um, a seam. I mean, it's more than just temporary, right? It can be temporary or permanent. So I thought the definition of discontinuance below was actually the better one.
Oh yeah, we have two.
If you take out temporary from that first definition,
Yeah. Or
uh,
just get rid of the first one and leave the second.
is it always requested by the owner or is it, if it's abandoned, maybe,
True.
maybe there's
yeah,
no
but
request.
it could be either, but
Yeah.
it can be just a cessation. Could be temporary,
Hmm.
could be permanent, could be owner, could be somebody else.
Okay.
There's a deleted director, but I don't remember deleting director.
I don't either.
Is God, I hope director is in here a million times in other contexts. Oh yeah, so that's the only yeah. Now director for sure doesn't appear anywhere, so oh maybe is that actually what you meant? Was director was the word that was never used anywhere else?
I I don't think that was my comment,
Hmm.
'cause
Well,
I don't
well,
know.
It's
director's
gone.
gone now. All right, three new definitions here: fire flow test, hydrant, and hydrant meter. Any issues with these?
I don't know if we
I
use the
do not.
acronym SFD, Sherborn Fire Department, anywhere else. You might want to just spell it out.
Okay.
And I don't know, I mean, they're contacted to operate the hydrants typically. Um,
Hmm.
they wouldn't be performing the testing.
No.
It's usually like a water department, DPW. So, um,
Yeah.
I mean, does it,
Or independent.
yeah, or
well,
independent.
does the definition have to specify who does the test or
No,
just,
No,
no, it probably
it does
shouldn't.
not.
yeah, so,
Good call.
hydrant and hydrant meter looks okay.
Yep.
Okay, three more definitions. So we defined fire department and police department here. All right, that's fine, I guess.
Are those in there anywhere?
I don't know. It doesn't hurt, does it?
Not really. Load it up.
All right, these are all good. See, it does let you select the whole region and accept the changes. I don't know why it wasn't letting me do that earlier. All right, great. Definitions. Whew, okay, done with those. Uh,
Hmm.
I'm glad he brought him on. He's comprehensive.
Yeah, this is great, Josh.
oh, okay. Something has happened with the
Oh, yeah.
lettering formatting
I had a
here.
little trouble with cut and paste on this. This is something I was going to mention.
Okay,
So if I pasted that second line in, it gives me another A. I don't know if this could get reformatted.
I'll just delete them.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, A, B, C, D looks good. All work within the water mains need to be conducted by an approved contractor.
Is that state approved or who approves contractors?
I
If
think,
anyone, it would be the district.
yeah, I think we do. Don't we have criteria in there for
Said
a
us or
definition for
an
what a
approved,
contract?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure which kind of contractor.
I think it was us or our approved subcontractor.
So should I say by a contractor approved by the commission?
We had something, I forget where it was. Wasn't there something about what it approved?
I mean, Jeremy, you can tell us some contractors are pre-approved by the state and others are not, right?
That's for roadway construction through Mass DOT. This is
Oh,
different, Marianne.
okay.
Many communities do have like pre-approved or drain layers, licenses, that sort of thing, where they're kind of pre-vetted before doing the work. So that's common. So I think what Steve's
Okay.
added there is appropriate.
Okay. I would,
I-
with that sentence, I would say all work within the water mains uh, must be conducted, rather needs to
Okay,
be
Yeah.
okay.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
work within the water mains is work
work on the water
on the
mains.
water mains. I don't know
yeah.
how to phrase it, but it's within is a odd word.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. So does that look good? All work on the water
yeah,
mains must be conducted by a contractor approved by the commission.
you still don't. I'm not sure on the all work on the water mains. I keep trying to think of a better way to
All water main work.
all water main work, all work having to do with the disc. Because I don't know if you call it tap going off. We're going to own from the water main to with the curb stop. Some of that is going to be ours. Is that still considered water main or is that service lines?
True.
Oh, how do we word that? Hydrants, valves, all work,
Water lines.
Water system.
water system.
System.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
All work on the water system.
Yeah. And then that'll include everything, including
Yep.
taps, laterals, curb stops.
That's all work on the public water system, right?
Yeah.
On the, should I specify that? Public water system. That look good?
Hmm.
That's good.
Oops.
I was thinking once we got through with this the regulations and bylaws, all this language, I was thinking of trying to come up with some, I don't know, some uh form of describing all the different parts that we're going to have in. If there's
Mm.
people on the commission that aren't up to date with the the nuts and bolts of a water system per se, I was thinking of coming up with some sort of a presentation to kind of show. Maybe Matt will help me with it. But just what all the pieces are. I mean, it's pretty simple saying it's a water main pipe, but it probably be good for all of us to know every part and piece on it. There's taps that go in, how a tap works. There's a lateral that goes to a thing called a curb stop, kind of what they look like and how they're turned on and turned off. All that's going to be our equipment. What a valve box, gate valve looks like, hydrant, how a hydrant works. If anybody's interested in that, at some point I could work on that.
That would be great. I would love that.
I don't know any of it, so.
Okay. So
Um,
I'll start working on that. I don't know if I guess I could go to PowerPoint school and I could work on some slides and put something together. Maybe with my buddy AI,
mhm.
my partner, my partner AI,
Your best
Um,
friend, your BFF.
my BFF.
all right. Contractors shall be licensed and insured. Is that necessary to say in this context, or is that actually covered somewhere else in either the bylaws or the regulations?
You should
I
be
think
covered somewhere else with more detail because that's a pretty general statement.
Yeah. So can I
as long as
can
it
I
is
just
covered.
can I just take it on faith that that's covered somewhere as opposed to trying to track down where else in either the regulations or in the bylaws that it's stated
Unless
that
you unless you want to leave it for now, because I don't know if we're going to button this up
Okay.
Might give us a cue to look for that, or actually, I'll just take another note.
Okay.
You know, this whole paragraph is about obtaining approval to construct or change the size of a water service pipe connecting to the public water main, and the application. And in the bylaws, we inserted some language about the stages of application. That is, there because of the way the legislation is written, we need a developer or a resident or whoever needs to be able to submit a preliminary application or a provisional application just to get approval of the use of a certain amount of water. And then,
Okay.
you know, a I forget what language we used in the bylaws, but a
Yeah, yeah,
a full application includes all these details. So
yeah.
I think this two stages there maybe should be reflected in somehow in the regulations here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so this is saying that only a contractor shall be licensed. And now, does that pertain to that paragraph?
Not really. That's kind of a different subject.
Okay,
Yeah. All right. So I'll just delete it.
okay. Let's see where you had that.
So exactly what's required in a preliminary application to get the water district to commit to a certain amount of water usage? Um, Somehow that needs to be built into that paragraph. And then what's required in uh in a I don't know what we call the second stage in the bylaws. I have to look back at that. Um, what's required in the serious final application, whatever it is, has a lot more detail as you lay out right here. But I mean, this is just to be consistent with the legislation that allows the district to commit a certain amount of water use, um, pending, you know, all this detail, but at least to commit a certain amount of water use to the building or development or whatever.
Are you still on B?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess my question would be, uh, is B as written lacking something right now?
No, it's just that I'm just trying to make it consistent with everything else, the consistent with the bylaws. For example, um, hold on. In the bylaws, it says initial application for connection to the public water system alone or to both water and sewer systems will be accepted by the commission as of the earliest date when all approvals required for the project from local public bodies have been issued and become final and appealable. That's straight from the legislation. Um, And then initial permit application must include plans, fees, proposed water and or sewage usage, um, as determined by Title 5, and other required information as defined in the district rules and regulations. So we haven't decided what other information we're going to need for that provisional approval or initial application. Um, I mean, we think we need to go back to the bylaws and make sure that it's consistent with what you're writing here. And I think what you've written under B is consistent with final approval of it, this is also from the bylaw, final approval of a new connection will be contingent on approval of final engineering plans for the proposed infrastructure from the public system to the owner's property line and other requirements as described in the water use regulations. Um, so, we can just look back at that language. Maybe we shouldn't try to wordsmith it right now, but
Okay, yeah, because I don't think I fully understand what you're saying. So I
yeah.
lack the words to edit this paragraph unless you have the words right now. But
Oh, I don't, but
okay,
we need to just sit down and be happy to do this with Josh, if you like, with the bylaws, just to make sure that what we write here is consistent with the bylaws.
okay,
And that's B. That's paragraph B.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to leave a note here somehow?
Could you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave a comment. Marion to wordsmith. Okay, that's a comment for you, Marion, for you to wordsmith it.
Okay.
All right, C.
Wordsmith.
Um, all
So I
right.
did have a question I wanted to ask, and I don't know whether we should save this for Matt or what, but it says all testing, pressure, and chlorination of water service pipes 4 inches and larger shall be done by an approved. Shouldn't all testing of all services? I'm not sure why he put the 4 inch threshold there because we're not going to be testing any, are we?
Hmm.
Or does under 4 inch not need to be tested? So I wanted to, I don't know whether we should talk to Matt about that and see what he was thinking on that, or whether that should be a blanket statement.
I would check with him unless somebody
Okay,
has thoughts on it.
All
can
right.
we leave that?
I'll just
Can we
leave
leave
that.
that?
I'll just leave that one
It,
there
it
then.
yeah, it doesn't seem to be the appropriate place for that.
Okay,
But the testing, yes, the testing is applicable to all pipes, but it's it's a weird place to have that statement in your
okay.
regulation.
Is there somewhere else we should put it, do you think? Do we need it? Is there somewhere else we could put it?
Does that refer to the mainline public pipes, uh,
No,
or pipes within a private property?
that
Those
would,
everything should be tested, and it really just should be referencing like the American Water Works standards or something like that, more general standards.
Mm.
Okay. I think we should probably leave that one until Matt is present.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to clarify why he put that specific language in this location.
Liz was hoping we were going to button this up tonight, but
No,
sorry,
and I
Liz.
was double checking as well to see
Okay.
like where we have testing or
Yeah, presumably somewhere there should be some language about testing, but um yeah. All right, we'll leave that there for now.
Okay.
All right, what about this? All water usage due to flushing shall be at the cost of the owner.
Hmm.
so I mean it's just going towards someone has to pay for every drop that comes through that meter from
Yeah.
Framingham. So if um
That's pretty
someone
much saying that
yeah,
we have to pay for the water that we use for flushing.
For flushing the main line, but flushing pipes within a private property.
private property, I think. So yeah, this is talking about private property. So with the rate setting, there will be some accounting of what do I call it? Like hydrant flushing and hydrant use as well. So it, we're not going to just bill everyone directly for their usage. It's going to have fees that allow you for capital improvement and also to pay for your maintenance as well. So that'll be accounted for there. Um, but this is, you know, if you went on, oh, okay, so this is his, so he's saying if you're doing a construction project that's private and you have to flush or dechlorinate lines, that it's on your bill. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So this situation wouldn't be covered by the general rate setting.
I mean, I'm trying to think of like where and how it would play out. Um, I don't think it hurts to keep it in.
Okay.
In that statement under D, only the commission shall turn on the water service. I mean, is that like we have to go out there and
I
uh
think we def I
Well, that's where the
um
commission is defined a little bit more broadly.
yeah,
Well, here,
authorized representative, I guess if you wanted to
Yeah,
add.
yes,
But yes.
good call.
Give you a Watergate key, Marion. You can go out and
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Andrea said she's going to keep it in her shed.
All the equipment's going to be in my shed.
all right, I'm gonna accept this.
Mhm.
Come on. Oh, whatever. Okay, okay.
Oh,
All right,
14.
we have a couple
Any-
of minor things here. Water service pipe, with the exception of city or commission owned. Yeah, that seems logical. Comment here. Use city or commission.
Oh, use either
Oh, sorry. I
one or
must have
one
just
or the
read.
other.
I wasn't thinking the city of Framingham, so I was thinking, yeah, I think I just searched for the word city. Uh, so it may be, we may ignore my comment.
Okay.
Uh,
Do we have a definition for city?
that might be a holdover from Framingham's
yeah,
regulations. The term city.
Yeah,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, there's no definition for city.
Yep. No cities.
So, uh, shit, where was I?
If it was a city, Jeremy, you would be the mayor. Is that what it would be?
Yeah.
So eliminate city here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'd be also, huh?
One's with the
Well, that might apply because if it's roadway reconstruction, it would be to the town of the Public Works Department standards. So
We should say to the
town.
town and commission in that case. Yeah.
See, now why won't it let me
Yeah.
select and okay. Okay, irrigation systems. Whoa, okay, then
Yeah, this needs to be I tried to cut and paste his and it automatically put a B there. So I don't know how to get rid of that, but
wait, okay, let me see. So what
he had the IV dot all new and I cut and pasted that in there and it automatically put a B.
Oh, okay.
instead of just putting,
Yeah, Microsoft Word can be really annoying that way. It wants to take over the formatting for you.
yeah, I'm not good at gaming it.
Go to the last word in the prior paragraph and then just hit enter. It should just do it. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Just for future. That's what I do. I'm not good at formatting either.
Okay.
New irrigation systems.
Um, hmm.
We're not really shouldn't not really using.
I'm not sure how many of these you might, I mean, you'd want to have any irrigation system pre-approved, if at all, and you may not approve them anyway.
So
This is
there's,
definitely from Framingham's regulations.
yeah, and so your 5 existing users, from day one, Meadowbrook and Coolidge will be served off of the on-site wells that they have. So they'll have a private irrigation system. And the only other one I know about from water records is there's a separate meter on the,
Farm.
what's it? Not the farm, the one next door, the,
Yeah.
is it, is that
Sweet Meadow?
Coolidge? Yeah, them. They have a separate irrigation meter currently.
Mm.
So they have a system, and then it's just a house and the farm.
I'm not sure. Matt, I don't know if he said to me that he talked to somebody in the Cambridge Water Department or something. He might have been able to get some of these out of their regs. You'd have to ask him, but he said
Cambridge
something about.
doesn't allow irrigation
All right,
anymore.
so
It's
that's a
Shrewsbury.
no.
Yeah, it is a common thing. Yeah, Cambridge is served by its own reservoir, and they're struggling right now because there's drought. Um, so I think they have
Okay,
MWRA backups, but yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
So
So, so what are we saying here that basically there's way more detail here than is really applicable because we're unlikely to approve connections for irrigation systems, although there may be a couple of pre-existing ones that are going to get grandfathered in.
Um, so right now, the way the next chapters are written with the drought management plan and the water conservation plan, it does allow irrigation, however, subject to the state regulations. You know, when you see those signs like odd evening water bans, so or no outdoor watering. So if we go into droughts, there's steps that have to be taken, with the only exception being for agricultural because that's deemed necessary. So we the commission is allowed to ban irrigation, and I said, as I mentioned, Cambridge has, I think that Shrewsbury has. You're seeing it more in communities that are subject to what's called the Water Management Act, and that is regulating towns that have their own private wells, like in Grafton, where I am, we have wells. We have a Water Management Act. We have stricter outdoor water regulations. Shrewsbury would fall in that category, as well as Cambridge has its own water reservoir. MWRA has a lot of water. They are over. They have a. They are under 100 million gallons per day below their safe yield thresholds currently, and I don't think the droughts to date have been wildly impactful to the Quabbin Reservoir. So you can have irrigation systems if you wanted. You are capped at that zero point 0.8 million gallons per day, and that'll be monitored through MWRA reporting. If you go over that, you do have to get a new ITA or amend the ITA.
Well, we do have an IMA with Framingham also that will restrict
Good
the amount
point.
of water.
Absolutely. Yes. Yep.
So I think, and we haven't factored the irrigation systems, any, like future big irrigation systems, even for the farms, into that. So
Right.
I kind of don't want to go there. I don't know,
Well,
Jim.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think
that,
my main issue is that it just seems to imply that all you have to do if you want an irrigation system is register it with you,
Yeah.
not get pre-approval. Like, I think you need to make it explicit that you may or may not approve. I mean, all these requirements are good if you do allow an irrigation system, but it shouldn't be just left to the homeowner or the business. Oh, we'd like to put this in. All we got to do is after the fact tell you we have it. They should
Mhm.
get your approval prior to doing any of that work, and you may not give it, because it will eat into the volume you have available to give to other customers.
Yeah,
Um,
so
so what
so
would be the cleanest way we could add an additional subsection, a new A that says approval, and then have
required.
Yeah, or right up front, maybe approval, registration, and installation. Make that,
mhm.
Hmm.
and then sort of add that first, amend that first that I, or add a new I, something that it needs to be, seek specific approval from the commission.
Yeah, you could say all new and existing in-ground irrigation systems shall be approved and registered with the commission.
Well, we will require approval,
Or, yeah,
review and approval prior to well, no, not prior to. Because we may not approve it.
mhm, right.
Is that
Yeah, it's better. Yeah,
and then once that's in place, then all of this other stuff
yeah,
falls in line and is okay.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And if
those
you're going to
comments.
allow them, then you'd want to have soil moisture sensors and all that stuff. This is all good things if you were to allow an irrigation system, but you just want to make sure it's clearly kind of based on your approval to have them or not.
All right. So are we okay accepting all this whole section now?
Yeah. So this is the part where we had to add the language. So I'm not sure how or where this could possibly require some wordsmithing by Matt and I.
You need to add, what does this mean? Maintain to meters over 2. What does that mean?
That's Matt would have to describe it, I think.
Okay.
Up
All
to
right.
including two, and what is that? Reading devices.
All right. Maybe we'll leave this
Or-
section for when Matt's around then.
Okay.
Okay. Warm, unobstructed.
Mhm.
Pit meters within, this is
So
just my ignorance. What's a pit meter and why are
yeah,
they
a pit meter
prohibited?
would be a meter in a just what it sounds like in a pit, maybe with a cover on it, maybe old school, not like in the basement. It would be in a pit in the basement, maybe within a box in the floor,
I see.
something like that. So I don't know if there would be one, unless there's one existing, maybe one of the farm or something has a meter down in a pit. could get covered with groundwater, could flood, could get it, covered. So maybe that's the parameters on that. We could save that as well. But I think that's what he's getting at there.
Okay. So that sounds reasonable.
Sounds it to me. I don't think it's
That's
something we don't want.
not a cumbersome thing.
I don't think so.
Okay.
And then are we on 5 right here?
5, what? We're on 21.
Oh yeah, 21. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Eliminated a lot of city references here. I can accept all those, or I can't accept all those. What the, what the hell, Microsoft?
Will it do it?
I
There you go.
did something.
There's still one in there, just below your cursor.
So we're still in section 4, correct? Just finishing section 4.
I
Oh, I just saw some red. There you go.
think we're, oh boy, got a bunch more here. Hmm, Okay. Okay, blasting through here. All right.
Section 5, where's my paperwork? Number 4, I think there was a comment on.
Well, one comment here from Liz asks Sherborn Fire Chief if the town has standards.
Yeah, we've been in touch. I owe him a follow-up. They do have requirements for like their FDC connections he wanted to get in there, so that is on my plate. I need to
Okay.
give him a call back. Yep.
All right. I'll just leave that up there. All right. Please
This,
add.
yeah.
Please add any fire pipe that crosses another utility must have a minimum of 18-inch separation at crossing point.
That's
Um,
pretty normal, Liz.
yeah, I was gonna say like that's that's what you want. And this is kind of like an urban design scar I think I wear, but like sometimes if you don't have room, you do cross at lesser distances and you put in sleeving instead. So
Hmm.
you might encase the line in concrete for like a full section of the pipe over the crossing. So there's other metrics when that can't be met. Um,
Could you put that in just
I think,
to as a rule, and then if it's during construction, if it needs to be amended, it could be amended?
yeah, and you could
Is
do
it
it,
better to have it in than not have it in?
you could put it like, preferences or I don't think preference is the right word. Somebody
Yeah.
else can help with that one. Yeah, standard is to have the 18 inches of separation, and you can say
Could
where approved by your representative or the commission to have
could you put
less.
like exceptions could be made, something like that?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Or could you say something like should have a minimum of 18 inches separation at crossing point if technically feasible?
That sounds good.
Mitigating measures needed if it doesn't. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you're running through that with like the water department and or your representative. So I've had cases where I've just pulled up a plan and I walk it through with the approving person where I might have instances where if I held that standard, I'm getting really deep and they would prefer me to go over and insulate, so it's usually like a quick technical review that I've done. Um,
I've
so
worked I've worked on situations too where they didn't give us relief and we had to go below a drain and have the separation and had a
yeah,
mass, massive hole.
super deep, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And it's kind of you're at the purview of your approving authority, right? And what their
yeah.
opinion is on what's better. So, um, yeah, I would say, I guess,
Because you put in must, and then if it can't be, the
yeah,
commission could always,
and just have it maybe have this be something that's required to be detailed on the plans that are submitted, right? This is a construction level submission in the engineering world where we would go through and start identifying those so you could have that called out on your plan. I've some towns require it and others don't. So it isn't abnormal to say like, identify all your crossings that are not meeting these.
Mhm.
So, and
I
that
think it,
should hold for more than just your fire pipe though. That's both.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Possibly you could get in a situation where a contractor hits a high point of ledge and he doesn't want to make the 18 inches of separation just because it'll cost him more money. So if the language wasn't there, he could pretty much just do it. If you have it there, you could almost force and say, look it, you got to do what you got to do.
So this conversation is too technical for me. So I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not sure how to adjust the like it's unclear to me if we're saying we should eliminate the language, should we keep it in but change it, that we need to put it somewhere else in the regulations. It's all unclear to me right now.
Want to leave it and have Matt explain his thoughts on it if we're going to be going through it one more time anyhow.
I
Say
guess.
unless otherwise approved, any water pipe that crosses another utility.
But I guess then there's the problem of this is only talking about fire pipes, and Liz, I guess you're saying that really this should apply to all water pipes and not only fire pipes. So
Correct. Yep.
this may already be just not even in the correct section anyways, so the whole thing might have to be reworked. So
Okay.
maybe that's
Leave
a
it alone.
push that off to the next meeting.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll leave that there.
Is that a standard that appears in other regulations, like state regulations or engineering standards, or can we refer to some other document on this?
Not
Uh,
off the top of my head. Jeremy, you got one?
Yeah, there's some standards the DEP has for public water mains that,
Okay.
that it shows up in. But
So,
at 18 inches, the way that Liz describes it is accurate. That's sort of the out there. The 18 inches if you can. If not, you take some other actions.
yeah.
Sleeve it, encase it. Make
Hmm.
sure the joint on the water pipe's not near the crossing.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right, what about this addition on the next section about installation?
Come from a regulation.
This is again just fire pipe, right?
Yep.
And back up a little bit for me who know nothing about this, but does fire pipe refer only to the a pipe going to, say, to an hydrant on a private property, or public hydrants or?
Yeah, no,
It's
not the
actually
hydrant.
going to a building, actually.
Yeah, the feed
Oh,
from the water main to the building and the part of the building that would supply the fire sprinklers per se.
Yeah.
sprinklers, okay.
But again, this is similar that this pressure testing should be any pipe, regardless if it's fire protection or domestic service.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd
Um,
think.
And
So we need to find a better place to, we probably should have it, but we just need to find a better place to put it.
yeah.
all right, so
Oh,
we'll
all water piping, uh,
Yeah, but this is the section on fire pipe. It's the same kind of issues
right.
that prior one.
Yeah, it should, if it's
It's
already
appropriate.
set
It
up.
just should apply to all pipe.
Yeah.
all right,
We have to
we'll leave that for now.
find a place.
So
Hmm?
maybe we need like a
We need a section on, is there a section on testing?
installation and testing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So this is taken from Framingham. They don't have it, correct? They must have some sort of language in theirs about
They do.
Is it on the
testing.
condition of the permits or?
No, there's also construction standards. So
So
We
it's,
need to,
oh, yeah, and I didn't do those. Yep. So I had
okay.
stopped because you guys were so small. Um, but okay. Yeah.
Well, there is a section here on construction standards.
yeah, and
Oh, and it says City of Framingham.
which is not bad. I mean, since it's an offshoot of
Oh,
Framingham
Yeah.
I
system, I
suppose,
mean,
yeah, if we,
it's okay to reference them, I think,
Yeah.
so
and follow all of their testing protocol.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
would all of the pressure testing and all those parameters be outlined in the City of Framingham's construction standards?
Yeah.
So if we
And then it
goes,
also says in the absence of those, there's the AWWA, American Water Works Association I was mentioning.
okay,
So this
Yeah.
is this is a pretty general, this is a catch-all for all of that testing.
okay, so would this then make those two last kind of additions that we just discussed basically unnecessary because
Yeah, it'd be redundant.
it would all be covered in City of Framingham construction standards?
Yep.
Is this too general though? I mean, if somebody asked us what our construction standards are,
They would pull
they
up the
ask
City
a
of Framingham
question.
standards.
Yeah, because
Yes.
you're attached to the city of Framingham, you have to. This is why I did this. Yes, that
Yeah.
was my plan.
Yeah.
Um,
Instead of cutting and pasting theirs on this, we just cite
because you
theirs.
can't deviate from them unless you're, I think, specific in your oh gosh, I'm sorry, my brain's shutting down. The agreement you have with them.
The IMA.
Yes, thank you. Unless you're specific in there or you have other conversations with them. I mean, from my reading of it, it seems that you are required to adhere to their standards because you're connecting to their system um, as a consecutive water system. So, um,
So we need to
yeah,
have a set of their standards close at hand.
They're on the internet.
they
Wingo,
are.
yeah.
Um,
We need to be able
and
to
they're
access.
good standards.
Okay.
I wrote them.
I was really hoping you'd say that. I was hoping you wouldn't come here and be like, I didn't really like them. You know? That's great.
I'm sure they've been updated since, but they're all available on the internet. You can get them on the City of Framingham's website.
Yeah, yeah. So I figured you already had like your valve, pipe, all that selection in place in your procedures. So,
Okay. So then, oh wait, all right. So then, uh, all right. So then, do we feel comfortable basically just deleting this then?
Yeah,
As
I think
long
it's redundant.
as long as it's covered under Framingham's. I'm gonna have to look at that. I mean, you can erase it. I just want to look at it.
Yeah.
Make sure I can find it quickly because in case questions come up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the only, all right, let me go back up here. So this for sure we can delete then, right?
Yep.
And then Um, Here, I guess the only thing that I might want to keep would be the notice.
Notice.
So
Mhm.
that's not a construction standard. That's just saying that you need to let us know. So
Yeah.
All testing must be performed by an independent contractor as well.
all right, so that will delete.
Can we include that link in this document?
I get
But
hesitant
the
about putting links in because they can change and get
yeah, the link
updated.
may change.
Yeah,
It's pretty easy to find, Mary. And you could like Google
yeah,
Framingham
right.
standards, you'll come up. But yeah, boy, those look familiar.
So yeah, it does have testing in here.
Yeah, there was a whole section on testing.
Yep,
Okay.
disinfection.
Um, okay, so then are we comfortable with
Hmm.
how these sentences here look?
Anywhere in this document, do we state that uh, these standards and regulations are uh, must be that how can I say it that these are consistent with the city of Framingham's?
I think in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, I mean the construction standards section that I had scrolled to basically said that you have to use the city of
Yeah.
Framingham's standards.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Annual charge.
Hmm.
So this is just kind of saying the fire service is on your property, you own it. Um,
Does the commission have any maintenance and inspection responsibilities on private fire pipes?
no, I don't think after the initial installation that you do have any obligation. You do on meters, you do have to make sure your meters are tested and okay. But this is private fire pipes, I think, right?
Isn't the cost of water going to be included in their in the meter at the edge of their property?
It would, but this is standby sort of service for the fire. Hopefully nobody ever uses a fire service. Um, but having the availability of it, many districts do charge a fee.
Okay.
Um, but that would be in your fee schedule. I'm not sure that what he's added here needs to be in the regulations.
Okay.
It might be a note to just to remember how, when you set your fee structure, how you want to create that, what you might want to charge.
Yep.
So so they you set a fee on that line because you do have a meter on there. You do have a responsibility, but they probably, hopefully, will never use a gallon of water from it.
Hmm.
So you're not generating any revenue from that. So you need a fee to kind of make up for that, correct?
Correct. And for fire services, there sometimes there is not a meter. The meter can actually restrict flow and be an issue, but
Okay.
depends on the size. I mean, the fire sprinkler system, the fire service pipe would likely be designed by a fire protection engineer
Hmm.
hired by the private entity building the building or renovating the
Yes.
building.
All right. So those aren't metered. I mean, the only meter for that would be the master meter at the property line, correct?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the rationale for the for the water sewer commission charging anything for that?
To have the capacity available.
Okay.
It's a common charge.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, but I think
But maybe
Mm,
doesn't belong here.
what he's the additional language doesn't seem to belong here.
Okay.
But there should be that language in our fee structure,
Yeah.
which we don't have yet. So we need to kind of keep
keep it
that
in
in the bank, right? Somewhere.
mind.
Yeah.
Should I leave the comment in for now just so we don't all forget, or is there a better way to remember that?
Well, no, I can.
I don't know if we're gonna get into that detail in your initial rate setting because, as you pointed out, Meadowbrook and Coolidge are all behind a master meter. Um, I don't know. Okay.
I'll just circle it
Yep.
on. I have a printout of this, and I'll just talk to Matt about it and tell him to
Yep.
keep that in
Okay.
Yeah.
mind when we go to rate discussions.
All
And
right.
We'll
we'll
use
bring
that
it
one.
to the rate setters. Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's only one more.
Oh, good. 'Cause I'm losing steam.
Well, you're doing a lot of work back there. There's a lot of cursor work.
Mm.
No fire pipe shall be shut off. Uh,
That sounds reasonable. Unless Mass General Law already states that.
Well, yeah, what did he say below?
he said basically no fire pipe will be shut off without notifying the police and fire department.
Oh,
Is that already covered by a state law?
let me grab the,
It could be. It might be a good thing to have in, even if it is.
Mhm.
It does. There is a reference to an MGL, Chapter 148, Section 27A. No shut off of a fire pipe shall occur except in accordance with that.
Mm.
Out notice in order to prevent the loss of water.
Would the term fire pipe apply to the pipe to a hydrant on private property?
No,
Okay.
so the,
I don't think so. Does anybody argue that? Jeremy, I've never heard of a
Yeah,
feed to a hydrant being called a fire pipe.
right. I agree.
the MGL referenced has the requirement to notify the fire chief or the head of the fire department.
Okay.
So
It
it's
doesn't
covered.
have the police.
Yeah, it would be just the fire chief. The police wouldn't need to be notified.
Yeah.
Um,
How about fire? Does it have any language about fire watch?
yeah, it
Or
says
Well,
is
that
that
would be
just
part of the notification. Then the chief would be notified, and the fire chief could make a determination whether they need a fire watch or not.
Yeah. We
okay?
Seems
shouldn't
to be
be
covered in
telling the
that
fire
general.
chief what to do in these regulations.
Okay.
okay.
Right.
So that's
All right.
already in there.
All right, rejected. Rejected. Was that the last one?
I think so.
Uh, we have some more city commission situation here.
Yeah. So there's just a couple that we have to go through.
Okay.
Shouldn't take.
Um, should I change these things right now or just save that for later?
I have time.
Those should all be the commission.
If you still have steam.
Oops. Uh,
Private wells. But the private wells thing, does the commission have any jurisdiction there?
The
No,
intent is to prevent,
you don't want
um,
them tied together. No cross
thank you.
Oh, I
connection.
see.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Okay.
Yep. So, yeah. Yeah, it has you registering them by the Board of Health and
Right.
not connecting them.
Hmm.
They already have to be
Yep.
with
Yeah,
the
that
board
is redundant.
permitted,
You're
right?
right.
Okay.
why is this highlighted?
Oh, I think I highlighted all MGLs at one
Oh,
point that I was putting in.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can have a cleanup session later to do formatting stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay, that's the end.
I had
Yay. That's it. 42 pages. That's all.
Andrea, were you saying something that there was something
was
else?
starting to say I have something I want to discuss while we have Jeremy here. Um, that Josh has brought up and other folks. If we're done with this for now.
Okay.
I think we are done. I mean, this is really great progress. Josh and Matt and Jeremy and others and Liz. I'm
Yep.
impressed. I'm impressed.
It's good. It'd be good to have Matt's input. I wish he was here, but I'm sure he can fill us in on those other changes.
Um, I just wanted to sort of jump to the general startup kind of questions. So I know Josh has looked into insurance and getting an EIN number for us. And there's like some basic information that we need to sort, like where our address is other than my house. And what are we a nonprofit or municipal? I guess there, Josh knows better than I.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're covering it all.
And also, yeah, and then questions about who we've talked about with Liz, who are our town, is our treasurer, our our treasurer going to be doing the billing? We will obviously have to pay them. Um, but will they be the entity that will be our treasurer? Is it treasurer or is it assessor? What, I don't know. Well, but just those sort of questions we should sort out sooner than later, I think. Um,
Yeah, when I try to file for an EIN, I get questions. Legal name of nonprofit. First of all, it asks me what type of organization it is, which I really don't know. I don't know if we're actually considered a nonprofit. I'm not sure what the classification was. I actually sent a request to them to answer some questions.
I think
But
we'd have to file something if we were a nonprofit.
yeah,
Okay.
surprisingly, they didn't get back to me,
What do you know?
the IRS. So I have to figure out what classification we are. Um, and then it needs the legal name of the organization, trade name or DBA, type of nonprofit, responsible party information, title, legal name, first name, middle, last, social security number of the responsible person. Activity, reason for applying, primary activity. Does your business plan currently accept credit card payments? Does your business plan pay employees via payroll? Does your business own a highway or motor vehicle? Does your business involve gambling? Does your business sell alcohol, tobacco? Those are pretty easy. Does your business pay federal excise tax? Probably not. So, has this organization ever received an EIN? Do you currently have or plan to hire employees? Corporate address. Do you want to receive mail at another address? So, date entity was started. Closing month of the accounting year. Applicant's contact information. So, there's quite a bit of stuff we have to figure out just for an EIN. And then I don't think you can get a bank account without it, an EIN.
So I guess to help answer some of those questions, what's prompting the need to get the EIN?
I thought we needed one. Do
And
we need one? I forget why we needed one. For the bank account or
as
just in
far as the
general?
bank account, if you're going to have the town's treasurer be the treasurer, I would allow her to do all that.
Okay. When
And
are we going to find that out?
Um,
When do we breach that subject?
guess it would be good to have a discussion with Pam. Do we have any sense of how much activity this might entail for her?
Well, to me, as far as the billing goes, I think we're going to bill quarterly, so that's five bills. I think that's what we came up with. So five bills quarterly, so 20 bills a year. But the problem I has is some of our language in there, like if somebody doesn't pay, we have to file a lien. Who's going to do that? Who's going to,
That's why you need town staff involved.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Or do we need somebody that actually works is the commission going to have a paid position? I mean, if somebody calls for a permit or an application or wants somebody to come out and inspect, um, somebody needs to, we have our language in there that we're going to supply a temporary water meter system that goes on a fire hydrant. Um, who's going to accept the money for that? Who's going to bring it? Who's going to store it?
again, you would likely all the money that's coming in is likely would go through the town's treasurer.
Okay. So somebody has to actually collect that. Like, let's say somebody says, "Hey, I need to rent the meter," which we have language in there to rent the meter for a certain amount of money. I think it's $2,000. Um, who do they call? They're not going to call the
I'm not
treasurer.
sure you need to own a meter to rent out. I don't think there's going to be that much of a demand.
Okay.
If somebody needs a meter, they could obtain that from a commercial company
Okay.
and utilize it. I mean, you're a small outfit.
Yeah.
You don't need paid staff. You don't need stocks of equipment. You're going to contract with some company to help do some of the routine annual O&M stuff and reporting. They're going to have a van or whatever that has stuff in it, and they'll bill you for stuff that might get used. But you're not going to have a stockyard. I mean, this is a small operation.
Yeah. Well, it
Um,
does say that we're supposed to have to supply and have extra meters. I think in our regs or bylaws that we're supposed to have those.
Would the
Um,
operator like Whitewater or
Yeah.
SWS is.
Yeah, they would
Like,
have
like,
them. Again,
okay,
you're just not going to need a stock room. You just
okay,
it's not a big operation.
okay. We
Um,
do need to go through. I'll find that section. We need to
I
delete
mean,
that
literally,
section
when you're
though.
starting out, you're going to have like 3 meters in your system. Like that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, I'll
um,
find that. I'm going to find that section. I'll bring it up at the next meeting. We might want to strike that section, which came probably from Framingham, about the
probably, which
temporary
they do have a
meters.
stock room, and so
Mhm.
forth. But back to the other stuff, the treasurer, and the bank account. So. It'd be helpful to get a sense of the level of work, 'cause that's what she's going to ask. And also how, is the commission willing to, pay the treasurer collector a a stipend or something to
Mhm.
help with the work? You know, is that something that you would consider? Um,
That would seem appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd work that into our fee schedule.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll be in your rate schedule and all that. It'd be part of your revenue and expenses, but that'll help with the discussion if
Okay.
that is asked.
But we
So,
even like for the business plan, even just a draft, like send correspondence to name, address, telephone number, email. We need like a home base.
well,
Could
you
that
could use the
be,
town hall. You can use the town hall address. We have a small mail room. It's more of a mail drawer than a room,
Okay.
but can be 19 Washington Street and put in, the mail drawer under the district. So
Jeremy,
you
the
don't need to
person?
create a PO box or anything like that. It can go to town hall,
Okay.
care of the district.
So can we give a title of some sort to whoever in town hall gets the stipend to handle this so that, they're like some title that includes, you know, administrator of the water sewer district or treasurer of the water sewer district, something like that.
I'm not sure you need to do that, Marion, but
I'm just to make it when they address things to town hall, just so you know where to send things.
well, there's going to be different various things that they might address things to your address for, beyond just treasure
Yeah, I feel like if
treasure.
it's just addressed to, care of North Sherborn Water and Sewer District, and then the address is Town Hall, whoever it is that's picking up the mail at Town Hall can then, whoever is the chair at the time, they'll just bring the mail to that person, or if it looks like it's something for the treasurer, then they can just bring it to Pam or whoever the treasurer collector is at the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So
But
not complicated.
I
I
think
yes, I don't think it's what based on what Jeremy is saying, I don't think that we need to make it more complicated than it needs to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, is
so.
there any basis by which we could determine what a stipend would be for the treasurer? Like, we wouldn't even know how to begin to come up with a number other than just pulling it out of thin air.
Maybe they have to come up with it. I don't know. Maybe they
Yeah, I mean,
request
when
it.
you do like detailed calculations for water sewer enterprise funds and allocating indirect expenses outside of that, there are ways to determine what those indirect expenses are, which would relate to a stipend. But I was just asking if you were in agreement of the concept, not necessarily coming up with a number.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in concept, that's probably what would work best is essentially to have all of the billing and everything go through, the town's treasurer collector, and we would pay that person some stipend that we determine,
Okay.
and that's basically how it would work.
Hmm.
And whose bank account does the treasurer put the funds into?
She would create a separate account using the banks that she uses, but it would all be separate accounting. But because she would, as the treasurer collector for you, she would need to have control over those bank accounts. Those statements would not be going to your homes.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a tax exempt
Yes.
entity.
Yep.
So there's like, all right. It seems like there's to me, it feels like there's blurred lines because we can't use any town services, like we can't use any part of the DPW for it or any of that, and we're going to hire them to do that, but then we can
You
just
can.
use the banks. We can.
Sure.
I thought we were told before that we are a total
You
separate
are.
entity,
You are, but you
no
could,
connection.
if you wanted to, and if it actually worked, I mean, you could have Public Works do things for you if they were under, some sort of agreement. I mean,
Okay.
regardless, you're your own entity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think, but still,
Okay.
if we were to use Public Works for stuff, then the district would probably need to pay some amount of money to the town,
Correct.
So that would be
Right.
a
Yep.
separate arrangement with the town, and
Right.
so we
I mean,
can't just assume that the town's resources are our resources,
Right.
but it is still, I mean, we're still a public entity that essentially is being created by the town, and the town is going to maintain some modicum of input on the activity, being that, a few of the commissioners are always going to be appointed by the town. So it's not like we have to pretend like there's no connection between the district and the town. It's just wherever those streams are crossing, we kind of have to figure out, all right, well, what are the actual details about that?
Okay.
Yep.
So we won't need a bank account and we shouldn't need an EIN, but we probably will still need insurance. Does that sound right?
Yep.
I talked to somebody. Where did I get that? I thought I got the application. I had some notes and I don't know where my notes went. But I talked to somebody at MIA, right? That's the one you told us to
Yep.
talk to. Here we go. Let me see who I talked to. Todd, I guess.
Yep. He's
Todd,
our rep.
right? Our account
Yep.
executive.
He's
Okay.
assigned to Sherborn. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I talked to him, great guy. Um, he said he'll get us the application, which I might have somewhere on my documents. But anyhow, he said they can supply property insurance, general liability, auto if we need it, um, political official insurance, which I guess would protect all of the
Mhm.
members,
Yep.
correct?
Yep. We want that for you folks.
Okay. Employer liability, cyber insurance, and an umbrella. So he can give us a quote on that. I think we just have to fill out the application or maybe talk to him further so we can get a better idea of what we're going to be doing and needing.
Yep.
So that we will need.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. And he'll be helpful with that.
All right.
Jeremy, it occurs to me, speaking of town services and such, that when these pipes are laid in the ground, there's going to be quite a bit of disruption of the roadways.
Yep.
Um, and that also is part of the cost of laying the pipe, right, to the developers of Meadowbrook Commons and Coolidge Crossing. Is that correct? I mean, but do we have to think about who's going to actually do that work? And um,
I don't think so.
does it have to meet some standards of our DPW? Or
Yep.
obviously
Yep.
it does, but it's just another wrinkle. And
Yeah. No, I think my guess, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeremy, but for Toll Brothers is going to hire a subcontractor to do the work, and the contractor is going to have to file a street cut permit with the DPW, and the street cut permit has restrictions and regulations in itself
Yep.
about how they can enter the street, cut the street, and leave the street,
Right.
not having to do with the Framingham regulations on how the water main is supposed to be
Right.
set.
okay,
That sound right?
Yep. That's right.
Okay.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Are we,
Probably, Jeremy, probably a bond, some sort of a bond sometimes for that sort of stuff to make sure
Yeah.
that in the future.
I mean, that would be part of your approval of the work. You'll want to get design plans for all the infrastructure to be installed and the stuff that remains private, the stuff that gets turned over to you.
Mm,
And, your approval would be contingent on performance bond and insurance certificates and that sort of stuff. It's all pretty standard things in the industry.
yeah, yeah, okay. All right. I'll add one other thing just to remind us that MIIA also said if they are doing the work with us, they will for free review any hold harmless or indemnity clauses in any contracts that like Swiss or Whitewater would give us. So they'll review the contract and make sure that it looks legit.
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah, they're a good outfit. So,
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Andrea.
Anything else anyone wanted to, that we haven't talked about?
Um,
Um,
I would say that we can probably release Liz and Will at this
yeah,
point
yeah,
because I think we still need to just approve the minutes.
Oh yeah.
okay.
Right, but before we do that, could I ask Liz, um, eh, how do you think would be a good way to proceed in giving us a chance to have input or just chat with you about
Yeah,
sections of the FEIR that we're going to want to take a look at?
absolutely. So I'm gonna share my screen. Um, did I share the wrong one? Hang on, let me get this up. I was gonna show you, I have, here we go. So I have a draft to, I don't know what's going.
Response to comments. That's
Yeah,
good.
okay, so you see that. Okay. All right. So yeah, we broke down all the letters that we got from
Hmm.
the entities on MIPA, including the certificate from the secretary. And this is really, in a way, a high level outline of what the FEIR will be. Um, it's in a pretty solid draft format where we either have draft responses in, or in cases where we're still working on things, have identified the entity that is responsible. So we have, I think I could send you this.
Oh, if you could,
Uh,
that would be great.
yeah, and where I'd say your focus is definitely on the WRC comment. So the MIPA certificate, in a way, takes everybody else's letters and repeats it. So there is some redundancy in this document. I think it's the WRC, MWRA, TEP was pretty minor, and then the MIPA certificate as well, um, where you'd want to focus in. Uh, in a lot of cases, we're trying to fill in responses to help, get the response going, but open to your feedback, your input on these as well. So I can go ahead and circulate this. And as I mentioned, it is a draft, and you'll see I have call outs for where we still need information, or highlights where maybe I think this is how we're responding, but we're still working through some of the information as well. So I think it could be a good starting point.
Oh,
And
this is great. Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, happy if you want to just, pull up, give me any notes on it, however you want to do it.
Hmm. Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay. I'm
And
gonna,
the list I sent you is even more, abridged and just a note on the sorts of things that have come up in meetings of various boards and committees, but we'll see how that fits in here. If,
yeah, okay, great.
yeah, that's
So
good.
I'll send that out to you guys tonight, so you have it.
No, in the chat, this is a
Oh,
section.
that was when we were talking
About the fire.
about, yes, yeah, I dropped the language from the Mass General Law in there about the notifications.
So it sounds like what's covered in the Mass General Law is what was Matt's comment is covered in this
Yeah,
in this. Okay.
yep, I think so.
Um, all right.
Okay.
All right. I think that, yeah, so next time, hopefully Matt can join. Hopefully, he can take a peek at the sewer regs. I think that might be even easier.
Okay.
Um, and we can talk maybe more about the final EIR and the drought management and the water conservation next time.
Sewer regs should be pretty easy because do we have any authorization, any authority on the sewer? Or we're not gonna own it. The only time we would is if a different group elects to put in sewer, and that's gonna go through a huge
Right.
process for that to happen, right? So we'll have time to tweak them for sure.
Do we
Yeah.
need the sewer regs for the FEIR or for MIPA's pre-vetting?
Um, I think so because it does spell out I&I mitigation specifically, I think is when we want to know about inflow and infiltration. So it has that requirement that if you connect in, you're paying a fee to Natick so they can do a 4-to-1 I&I mitigation. So I think
Okay.
they are much lighter than your um, your water regs. Um,
Well, hopefully Matt is good at reading through these and coming up with comments pretty
yeah.
fast. So hopefully he could take a look at the sewer. And then at the next meeting, if he attends the next meeting, we can hammer out the water reg. I already gave my input on sewer. We could take his, maybe we can button it up.
Yeah. Then we have the business plan, drought management, a few other
Uh,
things, but those are easier and shorter, I think.
you
Right.
have,
Plan, I don't
yeah,
know.
last week I sent you drought management will fly through. So that might be a good one just to knock out.
Okay.
Um, at least I hope so. And then right now you have a water loss or water conservation plan.
Mhm.
Still on my plate is the O&M and the emergency management plan and then business plans. So those are the three coming, and I will kick you over the draft response to comments now.
That's great.
All
And
right.
Thank
where
you.
do
Thank
Let's
you.
wrap it.
before everyone leaves, where do we before we adjourn, when do you all want to meet again?
Wait, are we gonna do the minutes also, or
Oh yeah, we have another
Oh,
minute.
sorry.
That could be quick.
Yeah, I had some comments that were circulated uh recently to respond to
On the minutes,
Jen on the minutes.
I
Yeah.
redid them and sent them out just before, half hour before the meeting, and just accepted. That language that you put in was great. It answered the question, Marion. You had a question. What is carrying mean? I think Marion, you had a question on there. You said mean question mark.
before we get too deep into it, I think we
Yeah.
don't need Liz and Will anymore, right?
No.
All right.
All right.
Oh, thank
Have a
you.
good night. Take
Thank
Good
care.
you very
night.
much.
All. Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you very much, folks.
Actually, we probably don't need Jeremy anymore either, do we?
Yeah.
No.
Let
Thank you,
Jeremy go too.
Jeremy.
I was trying to be protective of Jeremy's
Yeah.
time. He's
I
Not that we
know.
don't need him.
Enough
You-
already.
No worries.
but
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks,
All right.
Jeremy.
Good night.